Splatoon 3, the epitome of the Splatoon series. This game has so much that you can do in it, like play table turf and play online matches and even salmon run.
Bruh.
And with the new season dropping, it really seems like this is the best game in the franchise. But even so, this new season seems very off, as if they could have done more. Like seriously, only 9 kits? Another Tetris piece map? The more I look into the game, it just feels like Splatoon 3 is missed potential. Like behind the scenes, something went wrong during development. Look at the fact that Gold Dynamo still isn't in the game, even though it was shown in the first trailer and promotional art. So I took it upon myself to dig a little deeper into why Splatoon 3 feels like missed potential. This will be mostly speculation, but it's based off the limited information we have on the game. But I think it paints a bigger picture overall. First off, the biggest reason on why I felt like this game had a troubled development is because of how the game launched. Back in 2022, when the game launched, we were all just excited for new content and a whole new game. But in retrospect, the launch of Splatoon 3 was pretty bare bones. There was no league battles, no big run, the multiplayer online was even worse than it is now, and no online table turf. And table turf is the one thing they added to Splatoon 3 to make it different from Splatoon 2. There were just so many things missing in this game, and it feels off looking back. And they even removed core elements from the game like squid beats. And I just ask myself, why? Why did the game launch like this? Splatoon 3 presumably was delayed and is one of the few first-party Switch games to get a delay. The only games I can think of that have been delayed on Switch are Animal Crossing New Horizons and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And this will be important later on. So it got delayed and yet it still launched pretty bare bones. This game was announced all the way in February 2021 and released a year and a half later, and yet they still didn't have everything at launch. It took 3 months for X Battles and for the first big run to happen. Online Table Turf was added 6 months later, and finally 9 months in, we are getting new music for the game. Sorry, Liquid Sunshine. It just doesn't make sense unless this game had a troubled development. But what could have caused this delay? My personal theory is relating to a Nintendo support studio called Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft are the creators of the Xenoblade series, but they also support many other Nintendo games including Zelda, Animal Crossing, Pikmin, and Splatoon. Tears of the Kingdom, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Splatoon 3 had to have overlapped in development time, since Tears of the Kingdom was confirmed to be in development in 2019 and finally released in 2023. Animal Crossing was supposed to release in 2019 and got its final update in 2021. Furthermore, Monolith Soft released 2 full games during this time, which are Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition in 2020 and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in 2022, which also received DLC until April 2023. And finally, Monolith Soft supports the Pikmin series, which probably includes Pikmin 4, which is still in active development right now. So what exactly does this have to do with Splatoon 3? Monolith Soft supports Splatoon 3's development, and most if not all of these games overlapped in development time. Since Splatoon 3 was announced in 2021 and Splatoon 2 got its final major update in 2019, that means development for Splatoon 3 probably started at the latest in 2020, but had 5.5 games fighting against it for resources because Monolith Soft had its hands full. This probably explains why Splatoon 3 had to get a delay and why it launched at a lackluster state. Obviously, the delay is a huge red flag on its troubled development, but also if you look at the game's credit, you can see that most of the original Splatoon staff is gone. It's mostly new staff, so they aren't making Splatoon 3 based off 8 years of Splatoon experience. They are new people starting again from scratch. Sure, they can look back and see what made the old games good and bring new ideas to the table, but that doesn't mean it will be as fleshed out as ideas from a team with years of experience. It also seems like they are trying to do more than they are capable with this new staff. Now that Salmon Run is always open, it's no longer a side mode, and it should be deemed equally as important as the main online modes, and yet they can't seem to find a balance between the 2 modes. It seems like it's either the main lobby modes gets a big update or Salmon Run gets a big update, and Sizzle Season is the first one to seemingly prioritize both equally. Then there's a third online mode, which is Table Turf, which gets minimal to no attention from the devs. You can only play it from a pool or private battles, but good luck finding either of those and not getting bored. With 3 online modes, new weapons and kits, balancing and bug fixes, while also making a new catalog and store items, it just seems like the devs are stretched between everything they need to make for each subsequent season. It's almost as if the series has grown so far from the initial hook, which was good online multiplayer, that now it tries to do a lot of side things, but in doing so, it fails to do any of these things well. It's like they prioritize having more things to do but simply making each of them okay to good quality instead of making any singular thing great to amazing quality. This is furthered by the catalog. I guess you can call it the main substance of the game. This game for some reason completely revolves around FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Oh, you didn't buy the game at launch? Well, you missed the catalog and seasonal banners and titles. Oh, you didn't get certain tags and rewards? Yeah, it's locked behind reaching level 100 in Table Turf. Oh, you want the Salmon Run reward? Yeah, we locked those behind a boss that you have a chance of encountering. This new direction is very weird in my opinion. It forces players to consistently grind the game just to get items they may or may not want. Like in the new catalog, there's the Pro Trail boots. These have been the exact same shoes I've worn since Splatoon 1, and to obtain them I had to wait 9 months and level up in the new catalog. I just feel like it's a weird direction to take the game, and sure, it extends the lifespan, but in like the scummiest way possible. It's as if they had to justify some lackluster parts of the game by making players focus on these extremely grindy elements. So what's the point I'm getting at with all this? It's that Splatoon 3 is the series' biggest missed potential. This game could have had so much promise, but it doesn't reach the fullest potential it could have reached, and it may never reach it. And this could be due to internal circumstances or inability to understand what makes the series so great in the first place. The game still has a chance to be the best game in the series, but the devs have to listen to the community because we love this game and we want it to be spectacular. But even that is a hopeless dream because Nintendo never listens to its fans. So all we can do is pray that the devs learn and round out the game with better updates, but even then, it may just be too late.